Members of Congress under attack. A gunman opens fire on Republican lawmakers as they play baseball. Tonight, how the wounded are doing and the new details emerging about the shooter. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jessica Dean.
And I'm Natasha Brown. Yuki is off tonight. Here is the very latest. President Trump and the First Lady visited Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise in the hospital. He is in critical condition, and 3 other people were wounded in the shooting. Police shot and killed the gunman, and he's been identified as 66-year-old James Hodgkinson of Illinois.
We also know authorities are investigating whether the shooter was politically motivated. The gunman left chilling clues on his Facebook page. And tonight, the FBI not revealing a motive for the shooting, but agents are asking the public for help in their investigation. Rapid gunfire pierced the air at a Congressional Republican baseball practice in Alexandria, Virginia. When it stopped, 4 people had been hit, including House Majority Whip Steve Scalise of Louisiana, who was shot in the hip playing second base.
He dragged himself after he was shot from near second base about 10 or 15 yards into the field.
Congressman Roger Williams twisted his ankle ducking for cover. He credits Capitol Police assigned to Scalise's security detail for containing the damage.
There could have easily been 25 deaths or more today.
President Trump visited Congressman Scalise in the hospital. The gunman, 66-year-old James Hodgkinson of Illinois, was shot and died of his injuries. Authorities are investigating his motives, but Hodgkinson posted anti-GOP sentiments on his social media. Investigators believe he may have been in Alexandria since March.
We believe that the shooter has been living out of his vehicle in the vicinity of East Monroe.
Democrats practicing at a nearby field stopped and prayed when they heard what happened. The shooting brought lawmakers, so often bitterly divided, together.
We're united, not as Republicans and Democrats, but as United States representatives.
The bipartisan charity baseball game has been played on and off for 100 years. Each team is tied at 39 wins apiece, making Thursday's game a tiebreaker, with meaning far beyond the field. And one congressman says he believes he encountered the gunman in a parking lot before the shooting. The congressman says that suspect asked him who was practicing, Republicans or Democrats. Authorities later searched James Hodgkinson's van and Illinois' home. The suspect left behind a trail of bitterness on Facebook directed at the rich, Republicans, and the president. He volunteered for the Bernie Sanders presidential campaign. In 2006, he was arrested for punching a woman in the face. So far, investigators have found no connection to terror groups.
And tonight, there are concerns about how to keep lawmakers safe when they're in Washington and when they return home to meet with their constituents. Eyewitness News reporter Alexandria Hoff spoke with members of our local congressional delegation.
Pennsylvania Congressman Ryan Costello typically carpools to Wednesday morning baseball practice. At 6:02 a.m., he realized he missed his ride.
Never before had I been suited up, ready to go to practice, and not been able to hitch a ride.
On a normal day, Costello says that team leader and GOP Majority Whip Steve Scalise of Louisiana would have given him heat for missing practice. Instead, around 7 a.m., Scalise was shot. His own 2-person security detail responsible for firing back and fending off the shooter.
Because Steve Scalise is a member of leadership, he has a security detail there. Otherwise, we would just be a bunch of guys out on a normal morning practicing.
Regardless of party affiliation, elected officials say that threats are a part of life. In a statement, a spokesperson for Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey said, like many others in Congress, Senator Toomey has been the target of threats. In cases where these threats are deemed serious, they are reported to law enforcement.
There's probably not a member of Congress who I've spoken to at one point who has not received some horrible threats of physical harm or even death threats.
Over Skype, I asked Democratic Congressman Donald Norcross how often a typical representative is given a security detail.
Never.
He added that being accessible to the public and constituents will always be a priority of the job. As for increased security, Congressman Bob Brady feels that the cost burden to taxpayers would simply be unrealistic.
I don't think there's nothing we can legislate to stop an incident like this. I mean, there's been talk about having congressmen and women be protected 24/7. That cost is astronomical. That can't happen.
Using a few keywords, I did a quick Twitter search and found at least a dozen threats made against elected officials. Now, Congressman Costello tells me that the ones they receive by mail are far worse. Alexandria, Hoff, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Of course, stay with Eyewitness News as new details emerge in the Alexandria, Virginia shooting. We'll bring you updates on television and online, CBSPhilly.com.